Hi, this is Coach Judith. We are about to start reviewing the last 2 minutes of Stephen's 5-minute video of episode number 10. So here goes.
We're back, but it's not full circle. Before, I was choosing between abstract choices, COVID-19, and faster pipelines.
Okay, so let's just look at this picture again here. We have already looked at Stephen's first minute, which was the crossroads. He's trying to figure out what he is going to do next. We've looked at minute number 2, where he decided that he could have a sales funnel using flyers and QR codes and posting a website where he creates a Facebook group for people to connect, or we could do this right-hand side minute, which is what he did in the last episode, where he used code to speed up creation of these videos, which he is posting online in the hopes to teach people about coding. Now we're here in minute number 4 with the different dilemmas.
But by trying to imagine, like a chess player, what things would be like if I chose one path or the other, I now find myself facing a different dilemma.
All right, so he is now going to try to figure out which of these two things he is going to work on, and here is his dilemma. Stephen also introduced chess in the first half of this episode. Chess is a game that a lot of coders tend to play. Wondering why you think chess is a really big hobby of coders.
The choice now is between starting a value funnel or converting project folders into shortcut files. Ideally, I would now calculate the cost and value of each choice.
All right, so he's going to calculate the cost and value of each choice. Some people will call this a cost benefit analysis. So what does it cost to do the flyer method? What does it cost to do the coding method and creating XML files? And then what are the benefits of each? So what will bring the most value for the least amount of money? Let's see what he comes up with for these two different propositions.
I think this might take me 1 hour of coding and website design. That's the cost.
Okay, so it's going to, when Stephen says the cost, he's talking about the cost in manpower, or how much time he has to spend and what his time is worth. He thinks it's only going to take an hour to create a website, a QR code, a Facebook group, and that isn't very expensive. It's just maybe not actually 3 pennies, but just 1 hour of his time. Not very expensive.
But the value, it's harder for me to estimate because it depends on the actions of others, which are hard to predict.
Right. So he knows that he can create the QR code, the flyer, the Facebook group, the website, but it relies a lot on people actually joining the Facebook group and providing value to one another throughout the Facebook group. So it's very hard to determine what the benefits are of this left proposition.
I think this would be a one-time investment of several hours, maybe 6, because
Okay, so this being he's going to write code that creates XML code that he uses in Shotcut, and he's able to use that code to speed up his videos. So his videos, it will take him 6 hours to write the code that is going to make his video creation faster. And so 6 hours is 6 times as much as 1 hour. So it's a little more costly.
because I hadn't worked with shortcut XML files until yesterday. But that would have to be spread out over several days, and every day things are getting worse.
All right, so he can't do all the 6 hours in one day. He's busy with other things, and so the other factor that we have here is time. That every day, at least here in San Diego, I think everywhere in the world, every day, the number of people that are infected with COVID-19 who get coronavirus, every day it keeps going up. There's more and more need for people to connect with one another and to help one another. So the longer we wait, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe we need to get stuff out there quicker than that. So those are the things that he is contemplating. And now let's see what is going to happen in the very last minute of this episode.
So the cost isn't as clear as it seems. I wish math could just come to the rescue here.
How many of you wish that math could always come to the rescue? I personally love math. I think a lot of people find math maybe a little scary and intimidating. But the neat thing about math is that there's only one answer to a math problem. So if you could use math to solve all of your problems, wouldn't that be nice? You would solve the math problem, you would know exactly what to do. But my guess is that in this particular case, he doesn't, it's not so clear, and most decisions aren't so clear. Should he spend the 1 hour to create code to create a Facebook group? Should he spend the 6 hours to create code to make the faster videos? Math isn't necessarily going to be the answer here.
But sadly, in design, sometimes the problems worth working on are the messy ones. The ones where the path forward isn't clear. The ones where half of solving the problem is just figuring out what the problem is.
So I think that's a really good point. Many of the things that we work the hardest on are not simple. There are no simple solutions. And then it's satisfying when you solve them or when you make a decision and you go with it and your decision turns into something successful. Even if you make a decision and it turns out to be the wrong decision, that's okay too, because maybe you've learned something in your decision making process. But I think it is true that the more difficult the problem, the messier the problem, the harder it is to solve, but maybe also it gives you better satisfaction when you do.
In a traditional engineering education, people get really good at solving problems. The more clearly defined a problem is, the more most engineers I know like it.
Doesn't everybody? You don't have to be an engineer. If you can define the problem um, more easily, then sure, it's more easy to solve the problem. But if the problem isn't as well defined, I think everybody has a little more trouble with that, not just engineers.
Heck, I'm the same way. Maybe everyone is. Clarity and simplicity are beautiful things.
Clarity and simplicity are beautiful things. True, I agree with that.
My assignment to students would be every day, wake up and ask yourself, what is something I could do to provide value to the world today?
That is a great assignment, not just for students, but for everybody. When you wake up every day, try to figure out something that you can do that provides value to the world. Not just go through your regular routine, but what is something that you can actually do that provides value to the world? Great assignment.
And also ask yourself, what is something I could do to provide value to myself?
Oh, that's also so important. Self-care. If you are not happy, if you are not providing value, if you're not making your life better every day, uh, that's not going to be a good existence for you, and you cannot continue that. So those are two really great assignments. Wake up every day and figure out, what can I do today to make the world better, and what can I do today to make myself better? I love those.
Today. Then try to use paper to make both of those things as clear as you possibly can. Then make a decision. For me, I'm gonna sleep on it.
So I like that he says use a piece of paper, do the same kind of thing that he's described here in this video. Write down what are the things that you're going to do to help the world, the things that you're going to do to help yourself. Try to figure out how you're going to work on them. What are the costs? What are the benefits? And then maybe each evening as you go to sleep, maybe that'll help you figure it out. Sometimes we do just need to rest and let our brains think a little bit while we are unconscious. Paper and sleep are friends. Yes, very true. Okay, we're going to conclude the video here, and I look forward to seeing you in another episode.